in and of itself, then sources reporting that the number could actually be far higher when we get a clearer picture of what's playing out in this community. FBI and federal sources telling Pierre Thomas simply that this is going to be a horrific scene when it's all said and done. We do know that authorities in that community plan to brief reporters at some time in the near future. Of course, we'll bring that to you as soon as we have it. In the meantime, I want to bring in Elizabeth Newman, formerly with the Department of Homeland Security. And Elizabeth, you don't need me to tell you that this has been a problem for many years in this country, and particularly in these last couple of weeks. Authorities have been warning that this could get even worse.
That's right, David. We've sadly been expecting more of these types of attacks, but it really is gut-wrenching when it's in an elementary school. It reminds us of Newtown in December of 2012 when another elementary school was hit. And there just are no words. We have got to figure out a way to be able to identify individuals that are showing signs and indications that they want to commit acts of violence, and we have to find a way to start to prevent this. It is just an epidemic of violence that we have seen at historic levels for the last 5 years, and it looks, by all indications, to be another horrid year, possibly likely to break records with the number of active shooters and the number of incidents of violence in this country.
Our thanks to you. I want to go back to Aaron Katersky, who is just reporting in more information from his sources. Aaron, what are you learning?
David, initially reported as taking place outside the school, ABC News has now been told by multiple law enforcement sources that there was gunfire inside this school, Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, by a gunman who is, according to these sources, dead, an 18-year-old male that came into that school with an unknown firearm or firearms, and authorities are now exploring what his connection might have been to that school. They're not exactly certain. They are working with a name, and they are now also scouring social media, looking for any background and any connections that he may have with any other people. But at the moment, authorities are of the belief that even though this was initially reported to have taken place outside the school, there was gunfire inside the school with multiple dead, including, sadly, David, a number of children.
Aaron Katersky reporting that the suspect, they have a name, they're working the case of potential contacts to the school. And
Spitting Cobra here, guys.
Been watching from the beginning. One of my questions early on was whether
elementary school
inside the school or outside.
18-year-old kid went in and shot up the school.
Off campus. Aaron Katersky now
as many as 14 people dead.
School, which obviously makes more sense.
Many children.
The scope of this tragedy unfolding before our eyes here late this afternoon. Again, Uvalde, Texas. You can see law enforcement.
This is outrageous.
It's been growing since we've been
wanted to bring it to you.
Robb
This
Elementary
is
School.
Live news.
Reports of a young gunman going into that school and opening fire. Reports, sources telling ABC News, and this number is a difficult number to report this afternoon, but that as many as 14 could be dead, and that would include several children. We do know that the Uvalde Memorial Hospital, which is
just wanted to bring this to you guys,
has reported to ABC News that at least 2
turn on your local
died,
news, you'll get the information. Spitting Cobra out.